well, get together in terms of discussing some things, bring up some issues, and well, of course. So, how is everybody going today? So, how is the life for everybody?
And first of all, let me introduce our guests. By the way, yes, because
all right, go ahead.
Vladimir, he is my student, and we have known each other probably more than one, not more than 1 year, 6 maybe years.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad to see you. I'm Vladimir, yes, and
Okay.
I'm student of Alexander student.
Great.
Yeah, it's
Well,
great.
So could you please tell us some words about yourself, right? So what's your job? So what do you do? What's your hobby? So just some formally, yes, some words about your life and your personality.
Oh, okay. I'm doing audit in the Big Four. Maybe you know these companies. And, exactly, I can explain my job more definitely. I do audit of IT systems and give auditors who give opportunity to auditors to rely on my job and do less things for their job.
All right. So
It is a
perfect.
little
Well, I
hard
can
to
see
say.
your English is really great. So it looks like your teacher is amazing.
Yeah, thank you, but I'm not sure about whether I'm amazing. Probably it depends on the student skills. Yes, so if students are committed to learning, so no way for anybody, to not be successful. Just all of them along the road will be successful if they have determination to do such things like learning English, which is quite important. So anyway, the friend of mine is Valentine. So we have known each other probably more, not about 6 years since the time when I started learning English. By the way, and I have been learning around 6 and a half year. It's not a long extended period of time, so it's a really kind of unusual thing, and probably for so anyway, all dreams will come true if you are intend to do towards your dreams. So just push forward, never give up, never ever give up. That's the kind of
Never
our
back down.
autumn. Yep.
That's right. Yeah, as you have just mentioned, you have to be fully committed, to what you do on a regular basis. So whether it could be a job or your sports or whatever you're engaged in, so you have to be fully involved in the procedure, in the process you take up. So if it's a new one or things you used to do or getting used to do and so on and so forth. So that's all about determination. So how motivated we are to get things done. And so it's about our willpower, possibly, and energy we have in our hearts and our souls to achieve some stuff.
Indeed,
So that's right.
Yeah, yep. But anyway, today I believe for us we would take up some issues about English. So why this is important for people, and so what stops them from learning any another language, probably Chinese and whatever. Yeah, and so a lot of questions we can take up and discuss today. And for instance, for me, I would love to put forward English and motivation, because they are sort of interconnected. So so I would like to ask you, Vladimir, so what made you learn English? Is it so? What is it? What is it for you? Just your goal, purpose? Why
I think there are several reasons why I am studying. I have studied English, and it is the main reason. I think I have studied. I have been studying, you know, because it is useful for my job. I have some projects where documentation in English language and some meetings that is occurred in my company. Sometimes they um, they are in English language, and I think, of course, this language can help me in different countries when I will go there, and also a lot of things. What I can say about English, about useful English language, because it is really it is really I think it is really it is so. This language have to learn all people on the earth, because a lot of literature, a lot of uh, science, science uh, sources maybe
Yeah.
exists, and this. Why I'm studying this language.
All right, so I may come forward with some questions here, right? So do you, how often do you have to use English at your work? So do you sometimes communicate with foreigners, like with some partners and clients, and possibly do you go out to some, well, countries, like do you go out, abroad at times, you know, and where do you have to, or well, when do you have some kind of chance, you know, to communicate in real life? I mean.
When it comes using English language at work, I use during documentating different things. When I inquired my clients, when I requested the documents, I have to describe my work, and very often a lot of projects in English language. And sometimes sometimes meetings is as I mentioned, sometimes meetings is occurred in English language if it is English client or not English client, a foreign client, and we have to use English. No. I'm not using this language during the meetings, because my in chargers usually speak, and I'm only listening they. Because I think when we are discussing some problems, when we discuss some problems, uh, my big cheeses, my big
Top bananas.
the bananas
Top dogs. Okay.
know more information about solving different problems, and they of course discuss, but do document full feeling the documentation. It is my job.
Yeah, so that's a good explanation. It's awesome to know. You know, for me, just I would like to say English is something like doing meditation. So when I speak, it puts me in a good mood. So it elevates my spirit. Something really going on inside, and it's like, you know, going to the gym, lifting some weights, but just thinking, use your brain. It's that's what how it works out for me. Yes, and for everyone, probably but anyway, so we can or could ask each other, moving, for instance, on clockwise, if you wish. Yes, or so anyone could ask anybody any question, I believe, right?
Okay.
All right, so that sounds great. So let's go
Mhm.
one by one. I can take turns and ask any kind of question. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
go ahead.
up to us. Okay.
Mhm.
So let me be the first, right,
Okay.
to get
Okay.
this stuff started. Yeah. So Alex, what's your plan for this coming weekends?
Oh, so that's a good question. You know, I'm thinking of having some classes, and I believe for me, I would like to have more rest because I'm quite busy and as well as a little bit exhausted, but not mentally, just physically. So I need to have some time for resting, have a rest, and kick back with my friends. So, and of course, I believe that might be awesome to go to the gym. So because I have a little spare time to kill during weekend.
All
So
right.
okay, my
So
turn. Or
that yeah, that gives you a perfect answer to my question. All right. So
uh,
let's keep going. So
keep,
it's your
keep,
turn now.
keep
Yeah.
going. So Vladimir, so what are you going to do tomorrow? So
Of
what
course,
are
tomorrow I'm going to work, and I couldn't have other plans because I have Fridays when I work, and maybe after the work I go to home.
Mhm.
I will,
Mhm.
and in the evening maybe I will do some things related to uh, computer programming,
Mhm.
and now I'm studying. I have studied phenomenology time,
Mhm.
and it is this science mm, book is written by uh, was written by right, Gusserel. Maybe you know.
Okay, so just now I'm trying to scratch my head in terms of that book. Probably I have never written yet, or still, sorry, written, never, never read before. Probably, so probably I'm gonna write this book, yes. And so as you mentioned, like you are talking, this book is about space and time or something else.
Yes, it is book about our perception, the reality, and
Mm-hmm.
how we can give names of things in our head.
Mm-hmm.
Things are out us is real or no. And I think these questions was asked by Kant and different
Mm-hmm.
different people who
Mm-hmm.
and this man whom I have read, he is a man who started to write new ideas and reform ideas of Kant's ideas.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Uh,
mhm.
what?
Yeah, yeah, sorry for butting you in, interrupting. Keep going, go ahead.
And his question and Gusserl questions about about our consciousness and why we when we see or around us and for example see look at the table or look at the chair, they is really can we understand these things as they existed outside or not?
That reminds me of such thing like holographic reality. Yeah, whether we exist or not. Yeah, probably, or whether our conscious exist or souls. So it's really very substantial question. And
yeah, let me interrupt you all on this thing. Yep. Well, to touch upon this stuff, there are some theories about this, and actually, what we see with our eyes, right? So actually, it reflects upon somewhere in the middle of our brain. So we don't take, with our eyes what's around us. So actually, what we see and we can touch and what we like engage five senses of perception, right? So they have their reflection somewhere deep in our mind, actually brain, if it's well, talking about some physicality. And well, of course we can question what's around us. This reality is real. Is it really real? Is it virtual reality or real virtuality? So that's a huge and really great question, to ponder on and stuff like that. All right, so I'm waiting for the next question to come to me.
Yeah, so go ahead, Vladimir.
Okay, maybe you know who is Mitsofanti?
Not sure. Just give me a hint.
I think it is a known man who knew more than 40 languages, and he could speak. He could fluently speak on them. And I want to ask you, would you like to know more than 5 or more languages, and why would you like it? If you really want.
Well, that's really a huge question, to discuss and to answer. Actually, just it's all time-consuming process. Just to learn English, in full, to learn it really like very well, as people say, yeah? And you have to spend like quite long time, of course. Well, it depends on some, capacity of one's mind, right? So if you're able to absorb that knowledge that you take from outside, some from books or from videos or whatever, some specifics. So it depends, possibly if I have some motivation, to pick up some more knowledge. So why not? So it could be great. Nowadays it's so easy, like English. So we could have some conference right now, and it's not necessary to go out anywhere, like actual speaking club, staying somewhere in the office, and well, you don't have to spend so much time on that. So our modern present-day technologies, so they allow us to do things people didn't even imagine, just 20 years ago, I would say. Yeah, answering the question, why not? So future is great, so having one more or 3 learn, so it could be, just amazing stuff for me to do. Why not?
Yep. And so I have been always curious how it is impossible to speak in 5, 6, 10 languages, not speaking
Really?
of 40, 50.
I was surprised because he lived in the 9th century.
So where there wasn't any such thing like
internet. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, possibly the languages themselves, so they were much easier in terms of grammar, structure, and so on. Maybe there were fewer words, Who knows? Could be it. So no one knows for sure. You know what's the language itself was. So
Yeah.
maybe it was more difficult, right, to learn. Maybe it was easier. So we need to know some specifics and techniques. So it could be interesting, you know, to dig out this information on the internet. How they
Yeah.
really manage that, learn those languages, 10, 20, or 40.
So it really beats me and probably beats anybody. Yeah. So and I believe people who were learning languages in the medieval ages. Yes. So they at least had to travel a lot across many
By
countries.
the way, no, it is said that he could learn one language during the one night.
My goodness, it seems like information had been downloaded in his brain
Like, you know, the
instantaneously
movie Matrix,
at
right? So you
once.
just get some kind of cable, you know, on PC and just download whatever you want just directly into your brain. So that could seem pretty real, but
Yeah, but it's like a matrix, indeed. So that's a good question, and as well as so profound, really, why people would like to learn more languages, and so let me a little bit go further in terms of that. Just I would like to lay some ideas, lay out. So people think English is the easiest language to learn. So it's something probably it on the one hand it is, yes, but on the other hand, if it is the easiest one, why so hard to learn?
that's a
And
good one.
yeah, so
I think.
it's yeah. Okay, so could you just lay out your thoughts and what's your take on, Vladimir?
I think every language is hard if you want to learn this language as native one. And if you want to learn this language as understanding the main thing, the main grammatic structures, and understanding the daily useful words, it isn't so hard for people. And why it is why they speak so about it.
Yeah. So that's I agree 100%. So yeah. Who is the next?
Yep. Yeah, you know, just to add to that, you know, if you want to master a language, yeah, you have to spend long hours doing that. But if you just want to pick it up, you know, just having some conversational level, like how is the day go and stuff like that, you know, of course you can, I believe, get it done in just within a matter of 2 or 3 months. Just half a year, and just, you know, on a very superficial level, so no deepening down somewhere.
Yeah, as far as the language is concerned, when it comes to English, sure. So English, to master English, so you should spend a lot of time, really a lot of, and turn your life into something like lifestyle, and you need to get hooked to a lot of information and listening and watching and speaking. That's how it works for everything. So that to be qualified on every realm and field, I believe.
Yeah, you know, as it goes, practice makes perfect, right? So if you want to be perfect in something, right, so you have to strive hard, you know, you have to do your best and to put all your efforts, in the stuff you're interested in. Yeah, that and, sooner or later you're gonna be perfect in the stuff you do.
Inevitably.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
it
imminent.
goes
Yeah,
its
that's
way.
right.
Yeah, yeah, and so maybe happen for everyone who are striving for learning languages, whatever, English and any kind of.
Yep. All right, it looks like it's me to ask you the next question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
okay,
ahead.
let it be the question about movies, right? So what's your favorite movie so far?
Oh, so that good question. And let me think about. I believe one of the greatest movie which I have ever watched called Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump, probably you have watched it, and it is a profound plot about a guy. So, and for someone, probably for most people, he like an unusual person, and sort of fool, but at the same time he is not ambitious. He never or don't or doesn't intend to have a lot of money, and he knows the term love, because he loved, and yeah, and that make me think a lot. And Forrest Gump reminds me Jesus Christ, by the way, some sort of, yeah. And if
Could
we
be.
yes, and no any so he never done any bad thing to people. Yes, and he always helped them. I remember the scene when he was on the battlefield. Yes, and they were almost everyone injured and wounded. Yes, after having this skirmish, when the soldiers was captured or was ambushed in Vietnam. Yeah, and so he was the only person who was on the battleground and help everyone, just drag them on the spot. Yeah, and it's a really awesome movie to have a big time with the people, friends, families. And
Yep, to say more than that, to my understanding, he sacrificed his kind of soul, right? So his time, his life, and his understanding of life. So he just wanted to sacrifice it all, to help out guys in that scene or whatever, in terms of love and help and yep. So and as you can see, life is not always fair to such a person. Right, but anyway, so he ended up finally, in the end, and yep.
Yeah. So I and anyway, in terms of the term love, okay, so that brings us to kind of taking up a profound question. What is it, love? Vladimir,
Well,
how do you understand the term for
better
yourself?
drop this stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, better drop. All right. So let me put forward another question for you. So my turn. Right. Okay. What is your favorite book? If we are talking movies. So what's your favorite? Oh my goodness me. So we have 40 couple of minutes left. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Or what kind of books are you eager reading?
This question to me.
Yes.
I think the the I think my lovely book is Sea Wolf.
Jack London.
Yes, yeah, Jack
Yeah,
London.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and this book about I don't know why I said exactly this book, because I have not only one book that I like, but maybe because I like this book the first in my life. When I was 18 years old, I read this and uh, this book gave me a lot of powerful and a lot of understanding of the real world. When they were on the ship and among the wild sea, they have to apply or they're all powerful, human powerful, that could help them to resist environment and resist the powerful of the ocean. And the first thing that I could reach in this novel, of course, you have to you have to uh, uh, to one second. When you come across with obstacles, you have to first of all you need understand yourself. You need change your mind, and after that, I think you have to cope with the problems, and only after with the problems in yourself, and after that you can cope with the problems outside you, with the environment around that is around you. And this novel is taught me this sense.
Yeah, you're pretty right. So books teaches life, yeah, how it is. And yeah, so going through some obstacles, it's well, it makes us bigger humans than we are. And every single obstacle that we get over, so we get changed, right? And we have more willpower. After all, we know how to deal with some similar obstacles if they happen to be on our way in the future, and so on. And people grow spiritually and mentally and physically. It's all about it's all about life. So having life without any obstacle is kind of it's not life. So that's why people have to be looking out for some opportunity to face some challenges.
Yeah, and what
It's
doesn't
what
kill us
about,
makes us
yeah.
stronger. What doesn't kill us
That's
makes us stronger. Yeah. So through
exactly.
obstacles, and obstacles we can perceive as a lessons. So, and people are complaining about that stuff. So the life is pain, and we are suffering, and why it happens, and so they never perceive some crunch time on some obstacles as an opportunity to grow on this field. Yes,
Yeah, we
Yes.
are, and that's right. We're here to grow, to learn lessons. Yeah, like we are students for God. Even if we are being teachers anyway, we are students for God, and we have to
we're students
take lessons and do homework, and whatever. Yeah, and afterwards we get some marks, and yeah.
Yeah, So how it's how it works out for everyone. We
Indeed.
we are always students, not just for God, for ourselves. So it's the only right thing to for us is to educate ourselves and enlighten to some extent.
Yeah, you know, that brings us to the moment of speaking about, you know, Forrest Gump, you know, so the more obstacles you go through, so the kinder person you become in the long run, right? And people who are like angry or whatever, you know, dissatisfied with their life, it means they didn't go through any obstacle in their life. That's why they haven't learned any lesson. That's right.
Yeah, it's really so I couldn't agree more. So that's right. Yeah, yeah. Forrest Gump is a movie which I used to be or I used to watch or I have watched a lot of times, probably 10 or 15 times, including yeah. So just that stuff is awesome for me.
Yeah, it
And
makes sense to rewatch it for me, you know, personally this night. So before turning into bed, so possibly I could give it a try watching 10, 15 minutes or so.
it
It's split
is
up in halves, in parts, and yeah, so good.
yeah. So it is always awesome, you know, while drifting off to bed, just keep your eyes on some stuff and before dropping off.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, so far so good. We have had really great kind of show, yeah, right? So full of
Yeah.
discussion and bring up some great ideas, and yeah, so it was cool going it this way. So why not give
Yeah.
it a try for the next time? So let's see what it could
Mhm.
lead us to and bring things together. And yep, good.
Good. And sadly, it was supposed to be the fourth person. So yes, and there would be four of us, but I believe another time in course of our next meeting. So there will be four of us, maybe more, many more. Just
Anymore,
this
at
is the
least
first
10,
step.
I bet. Yeah.
10, yeah, at least fifth.
Time.
Yeah, so anyway, it was great and it was so nice to talk and have our first meeting in that format, which is we have never had before
So,
up
but
to that
anyway,
point.
it was a good try, and yeah, excellent to me. Good. All right. So, Alex, take the
Yeah,
floor and finalize it.
yeah, and anyway, so that brings us to the end of our meeting, and so I believe the next one is going to be or take place upcoming Saturday, but let's see. So we need to set our timetable, so everybody could get involved with, including Vladimir. So it's really awesome to have you on, and we need so the only right thing for us, just be nice to each other, be the change you want to see, and so bye bye. Take care.
Bye. Thank
Yeah,
you.
take care, everybody, and wishing you a great night tonight.
Okay. Have a
Thank
big
you.
time. Take
Yep,
care.
Have a
you
big
too.
time.
Yeah, bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye
See you all
bye.
around.
See you around.